Sketchy. Hello, it's Josh. Welcome back. Something a little different today. Another video game subject. I'm drawing Link, and this is specifically Breath of the Wild. Link. I'm kind of going fast and loose here with the sketch. That sword isn't quite the master sword yet. I'll go back and improve those details. I think several times. I'll revise that throughout this session. But yeah, I wanted to draw it's an interesting thing because this is Breath of the Wild era Link. And I wanted to kind of Disneyfy him a little bit, but it's already in that neighborhood as a design. I went a little different with the face, kind of inventing a pose here based loosely on some art that I saw on a Google search. But here he is. What to say about Link? Talking video games again. Breath of the Wild is one of those games that I came to. I still need to make a bigger video about this. I need to talk about my whole video game deal. How I did not grow up with video games. I don't have a lot of nostalgia. I hadn't played any Nintendo games except like Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt at a friend's house when I was in elementary school or whatever. Maybe that would have been middle school. I don't know. But so I don't have a great history with these games. And then in 2019, I got a Switch and I've been catching up on all these things. And Breath of the Wild, of course, was the big, I guess technically it's not a Switch launch title. It's a Wii U title, but that's certainly the Switch version is the version that most people played. And I just found this game beautiful and enticing and inviting, but also impenetrable. I found it to be so overwhelming that you can go anywhere, and that's exciting and fun, and it looks great and it plays great. But then I'm using a stick as a weapon, and then it breaks, and then I find an axe, and then that breaks. Oh man, this was not good for a first Zelda game. I think it was really emulating some of the old games, some of the Game Boy Advance games, and then the remake of Link's Awakening that came out. I had to play a bunch of other Zelda stuff in order to then come back to Breath of the Wild and really understand, because you're looking at a game that represents a really wild evolution of a whole bunch of established tropes and mechanics and things and lore that I was just unfamiliar with. So once I became familiar with all of that stuff that makes a Zelda game, I went back into Breath of the Wild, and it just opened up, and I had a wonderful time, and played through just about every inch of content that game has to offer, including the DLC. Except I just can't get past one stage of the Master Sword trials, whatever those are called. I have not been able to fully upgrade the Master Sword, but if you upgrade everything else, if you do the other DLC, the Champion's Ballad and all that stuff, I feel like you don't really need it. If you play the game well, even without any DLC or anything, by the time you get to Ganon, you're going to be pretty beefed up. Here I am, now I'm using reference on the Master Sword to get it a little more accurate. This is fun to draw, what can I say? Very iconic stuff, almost kind of like a cipher, like a blank thing that you can just project onto. I don't, just kind of like Star Wars. I don't find Zelda to be very meaningful, especially since it repeats its own tropes over and over again. It's just the gameplay is fun. That's what I'm after. Just like with things like Star Wars, I don't understand people who get emotional about it. The stories have always felt a little shallow to me, and I'm there for the design. I'm there for the ride, not for the feels. But I know it's different for different people, so no judgment. These videos are getting weird. I'm not even talking about the art as much. But hey, I have another question. We're almost out of time. But speaking of time, do you like these being sped up, or do you wish that these were longer process videos? It's come to my attention that some people really enjoy watching lengthy art process videos, and they like to just zone out and watch somebody draw. My default kind of assumption is that I'm going to pump out lots of these, and I'd like them to be short, and I'd like, it helps my algorithm placement if people watch full videos. But I know long plays and long draws and those kind of things, that there is an audience. Just let me know what you think. That's all I have time for. Goodbye.